Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. How's your past year and a half been going?
It's been insane. I mean, it's been lots of ups and downs. Oddly, incredibly busy. But I think I'm in the same boat as everybody else, where there's been like loss and sadness, and also growth and some happiness that you feel guilty about, and some learning and all of that. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, and you've directed two amazing films, both in the span, both coming out this week, technically.
Yeah.
Yes, both films with very original, very fresh central concepts. One where it's a platonic love story, and one where it's refreshing to see girls get contraception, what that's really like in America. It's like that a lot here in Canada, a little less so, but it is still a scary experience when you factor in all the things that you see the girls go through in this movie. So, looking back, what are some of the moments you feel most proud of in terms of both films?
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean it was really crazy. We were supposed to start shooting Plan B in March of last year, and then we got shut down like everybody else did right before we were going to start shooting. And so we didn't know if it was coming back or what was going to happen. We didn't know, if the world was coming back. So in the middle of that, Mark Duplass and I decided to make language lessons in the middle of lockdown with whatever resources we had on hand. It's definitely an experimental, small little film that we made with all of our hearts. And then, when we were editing that, I got the call that they were ready to do Plan B, and that they had figured out a way to do it safely. And it was scary, but we did it. So I did these both things simultaneously. It was not intentional, but it happened that way. And so I mean, my year has been really busy, but it has also been so rewarding for so many reasons. I mean, language lessons was I got so much from that. It's a movie that is very much in Spanish, which is my first language, and it's not something that I've ever done before. I've never really acted in Spanish before, and that was really exciting. And Plan B is, it just really speaks to me for so many reasons. It's a movie that I wish I would have had when I was younger, and I'm glad that I got to make it.
Yeah, I especially loved, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but the parking lot scene towards the end where she asks for her mom. And you don't see that in
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah, I love that too.
which I loved. So I'm getting ahead of myself. For those that don't know, tell them about language lessons and a little about Carino.
Language Lessons is a movie about, it's about a lot of things. To me, it's about connection, but I guess the easiest way to talk about it is that it's a platonic rom-com in a lot of senses. It's definitely a movie about um, a friendship and how that forms. I've really never seen a movie about male female friendship before, and it was my real privilege to make it. Mark Duplass and I wrote it and acted in it and made it in the span of 4 weeks.
Wow.
And it was really, I mean, because we did it in the middle of lockdown, I did all my own hair, makeup, wardrobe, set design, lighting, sound, camera, everything you can think of. We both did that. So it was definitely a labor of love, but I'm really excited that it's playing at the festival in Canada, and that people get to see it, because I think it's not a movie about COVID or lockdown or quarantine, but it is a movie for these times, and I'm glad people get to see it.
Yeah. So you, of course, worked with Mark Duplass before on Room 104. You've done directing there. But what was it like collaborating with him in this way?
It was so special. I directed 2 episodes of Room 104, and I also acted in one. And I had known Mark somewhat socially, but never we were never really like close friends or anything. We'd never gotten to know each other on that level. I think we were just respected each other very much on a work level. And he, very thankfully gave me the opportunity to direct some episodes of his show, because he had liked some music videos I directed. But I'd never worked with him closely. We'd never written anything together. We'd never collaborated in that sense. And it was kind of great because as these two characters are becoming friends in the movie, Mark and I were becoming friends, and you, I think you really feel that on when you watch the movie, because it did sort of deepen our bond in this really special way.
Amazing. So are there any moments in the film that you're particularly proud of?
There's a lot that I'm proud of. There's a lot that we were able to pull off that I don't know how we pulled off. I I had a lot of fun doing the movie. There's a scene where I've had a little too much to drink that was a lot of fun to do with Mark. It was mostly improvised, that scene, and I mean, we knew where we wanted to go with the story, but we kind of just gave ourselves permission to play in that scene, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
So as someone who doesn't speak Spanish, is it true about happy birthday that there's no happy in the last verse?
Yeah, it just yes, it is true. I mean, it's something that I realized while I was doing that. In the scene in the movie, my character Cariño sings "Happy Birthday" in Spanish, but it's kind of an adapted song to the English like tune of "Happy Birthday to you." So there's no real space for the very long "Feliz cumpleaños a ti" in that. So it just ends up being cumpleaños a ti, which is just birthday. It's just birthday to you, which is it's a little it takes me by surprise when I think about it.
I was so curious. I was writing down notes. I was taking language lessons as it were. So I'm curious also about she says to Adam that he doesn't really know her and he's really made up like a narrative for her, perhaps. So I'm curious, did you come up with a backstory for her? What was her story?
Yeah, I mean, we both did. The way that we wrote the movie was really unique in that we knew the just the basic seed of the story, which is that we knew that we wanted to write about a Spanish teacher and her student and how they inadvertently become closer and become friends. But we didn't know what would happen. We didn't know how it would happen, and we didn't know how they would be affected by it. And so, what we decided to do was to split off and write, um, you know, write about these characters, write biographies on these two characters, essentially write their whole background and come up with who they are. And we did that separately without consulting each other, and then we figured out a way to collide these two people, and it was really fun. I don't want to give away too much about who she is or what her background is, but I think what I really was trying to say with that is that, especially, in this day and age when we're having all these meetings through Zoom, and we feel like, especially if we see someone all the time, we make this assumption that we might, that they are who we think they are, because especially if they're nice to us and they listen to us, but everybody is,
Yeah.
their own universe. Everybody is a whole other set of things than what you think they might be. And I like the idea of, not making assumptions about people is a really interesting concept to me.
So I'm curious, where did you film this stream? And then where she hears the monkey, and
In
where did you
Costa
film
Rica,
that?
in Costa
Yeah?
Rica, yes, 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 we did.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. We
Wow.
had a we had a Costa Rican team that helped us out.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Wow. So
yeah.
after doing your hair, your makeup, your lighting with the help of the DP a little bit, the sound, do you have any Zoom tips or tricks?
um, I think we all do by now. We're all really used to it.
Yeah.
We're all used to doing the Zoom stuff. It was, we shot that in such a weird and specific way that it was very new to us then. But yeah, now I think we're all kind of used to it.
So I'm curious, the germ of the idea kind of came up with Mark and how he was taking Spanish lessons. Does he still talk to his teacher? What
I'm
happened
not
there?
sure. I think he told her about the movie, which I think is really exciting. But I'm not sure if he's still taking Spanish lessons. I know it was something he was doing. I mean, Mark is this incredible human being who like heard about a school that was struggling because of COVID and wasn't getting any students, and had just ventured into doing virtual lessons, and so then decided to patronize them. He already knows Spanish, so he just was kind of like, I'm going to buy lessons in order to help this school out. And then he ended up really, like, because he already knew the language, he ended up having conversations with his teacher just about life, and that's where the idea came from.
So I know it's tough with virtual film festivals, but what sort of feedback have you gotten to the film?
It's been really wonderful. I mean, there's a film festival in here in the United States called South by Southwest, and we won the audience award there, which blew my mind. It was so exciting, and also it's been so sad because it's my first movie in festivals, and I haven't been able to go to any of them. It was also at Berlin. I can't go to Canada. I can't go to anywhere. It's been a little bit bittersweet because I would love to see this with people, but I'm really glad that I think this movie is actually unique in that it does play well virtually, and it isn't something that you're not missing out on a lot by the movie experience, because it is kind of a movie that makes sense to watch on your own if that's how you're watching it, and I like that. I didn't intend to make it that way, but it's kind of it really captures a feeling.
Yeah. And now Plan B is coming out this week too.
Yeah.
Does it feel surreal, all of it
It's
all together?
it's very, very, very surreal. You know, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I was on some sort of like beast mode last year where I just was working nonstop, and thankfully I was working on projects that I really loved with people that were wonderful, and I didn't do any of this by myself. There was a lot of help, and I'm really excited for people to see Plan B as well. It's a totally, completely different movie. It's an R-rated teen comedy about two girls trying to get the Plan B pill, just trying to get contraception, and it's an actual giant production. But actually, I realized yesterday that what they both have in common is they're both films about friendship,
Mm,
and I really like that. I'm excited that I made that.
yeah. And can I just say I love the music choices in Plan B?
Thank you. I love them too. I'm really proud of that too.
I love the cover of Man, I Feel Like a Woman, especially in the closing credits.
Thanks. Yeah, that was our lead. That was Kuhu singing
Yeah.
it, which she's such an incredibly talented singer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When she
Yeah.
starts belting in the movie, I'm like, what?
Yeah, she's amazing. They're both amazing. Victoria Morales and Kuhu Verma, who are the two leads of Plan B, are they're gonna blow up. They're so incredible.
So I always look at the thank yous at the end of movies. I don't know, it's a weird thing I do. So I'm
I do
curious
that
about,
too.
do you?
Yeah.
So I was curious about the thank yous to David Wayne and Jason Reitman.
Yeah, I mean they both really championed me in this movie, and gave me advice and tips, and I'm a huge fan of both of them as directors. And I was very, very lucky to have their input on some of my cuts, and their notes and their thoughts on things. I mean, I'm very lucky that I've made it to the point in my career where I have access and can talk to really fantastic directors like both of them, and I'm really thankful for their help on the movie. So that's what the thank yous are about.
Okay, I was curious. And so you've had some amazing scene partners, collaborators, people that you've worked with over the years. Who would you like to collaborate with again?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, I honestly would work with Mark again and again and again, especially maybe in like the same room. That would be nice.
Yeah.
um, I would love to do that. There's a lot of really great people. I mean, I was on Parks and Rec for a while, and anybody from that cast, I mean, Amy Poehler is like a lifelong hero to me. There's just I've had the fortune of working with some really, really talented people, so I would work with any of them again.
And so finally, what have you been watching lately that you've been really into?
Ooh, I'm behind, but because I was really busy editing. I'm finally watching WandaVision, which I really enjoy, and I'm actually watching Medical Police because I never saw Medical Police when it came out, and so I've been watching both of those.
Amazing. And so what do you hope people take away from language lessons?
I hope they take away that feeling of connection that we all crave and need and want. I think this past year has really shown us how important that is, how important being around other people and being supported by other people, and those friendships and having step in and be there for you when you need them. I hope that people just take that feeling away and maybe call someone they love afterwards.
I love it. Thank you so, so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
Natalie.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
your
much.
art. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Good
That's
luck with both movies. I
thank you.
legitimately love them both.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy you did. Thank you.